Well, hi everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live on a Sunday afternoon, which means that it's time for us to talk about coping with stress. If you are new to the broadcast or watching this on the replay, big welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. We always love to know about new people coming to join in and how they found us and what it is we can help them with. DearMamaSal is a group of people. It's not just me. It's a group of people who get together 3 times a week to help each other cope with life. I've got to say that. On Friday lunchtime, we talk about coping with feelings because we all have them, and it's quite right that we have them, and we should not ignore them. And then on Friday evening, we talk about coping with life in general. And then on Sunday afternoon, as we are right now, we talk about coping with stress. But we throw all the others in as well. It's just we sort of concentrate more on each one at that time. All the times I'm giving you are, of course, Pacific times, because I'm sitting here in southern British Columbia, where it is an overcast day today. It feels almost like it is back to what spring should have looked like. We've been having summer weather of late. So it feels quite chilly. I've been wondering whether I should put the heat back on again, that sort of chilly. So we will see. I hope that you all had a great weekend and that life in general is going well for you. And if it isn't, that's why we're here. I want to say that as far as I know, we don't have any viewer birthdays coming up in the near future. So if I've missed one, please let us know so that we can add you to our list. We do know that it's Jody and Lionel's anniversary on the 27th. So we wish them happy anniversary. And speak of the devil, there she is. Hi there, Jody, and hi to Kim as well. And for those of you watching in the background, feel free to join in if you want to, but don't if you don't want to. We are quite happy with that. We're just glad to have you around. So if there are any birthdays or anything that I have missed, just please let me know, because we do like to make sure that we keep up with everybody. Oh, can I have some coffee? Excuse me a second. Decluttering. How did you all do with your decluttering this week? While you're typing, let me tell you that I actually did quite well. I have nearly finished filling up 2 boxes now that are going to go into the car. Why? Hi there, Beth. Because I want them out of my house. All right. It's just like, as long as they're in the house, there's 2 more boxes I don't need. So they are about to go to the car, and then I will investigate where the best place is that I can drop these off. Because, as you know, I'm in a house that's in an area that's new to me, and I haven't delivered stuff for reuse since I've been at this house. So I will find that out, and that is an awesome one. So how did you do? And was there anything that you were proud of in your decluttering? Remember that if you put one thing a day into a donation box, if you keep a box going in your house, or in my case, I filled up the first one and started on the second one. If you keep an ongoing box and put at least one thing in a day, and that can be 7 on a Saturday, don't get me wrong, just on average, one thing in there a day, you will have got rid of 365 things in your house by the end of the year. And I find that a lot less painful. I actually had quite fun doing it this week, where I just went, okay, I think I'm nearly there. What 7 things can I find just to make sure? And I just went blum, 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 gone. And I still have 4 more that I know I'm going to go in before I close the boxes. So it's going to be gone. Those boxes are going to be gone, and I will start the next one. I am quite happy with it. So my question is, have any of you started doing that? Have any of you started aiming to put 7 things away? That's all I ask, is that you start. Because once you, like anything else in life, once you get into the habit, it'll be a lot easier and you will have a lot less stuff. I've got some interesting facts about that in a second. Interesting. Jody saying, we decluttered some of the living room, making great progress. Well done. Beth is saying, I decluttered 2 pet aisles at work and redesigned it so to look more cohesive. It took 10 hours, but it looks amazing. You know something though, Beth, you get, you are the person that we all need in our lives, all right? Because I am sure that you not only can do that, but you can do it anywhere in a hurry. Because let me ask you something, Beth. Is your mindset, that's what I think we need to crawl into your mind for a second. When you go to do that, what are you saying to yourself? Ah, isn't that beautiful? Beth said, a lot of my older customers can't reach the cat treats. That is so thoughtful. That is really thoughtful that you thought about us. I don't know about anybody else, but I want to tell you, the greatest news to me is that we will start getting rid of the masks soon, because as a person that's hard of hearing, to be able to watch people speak again will be the greatest gift to me. It's the reason that I've really had so much trouble. Oh, that's interesting. Beth said, I love my customers. I watch them and I learn from them. And therefore, you will also train everybody else in your company to do that. Thank you, Beth. On behalf of all older people, thank you. Hi, Jeannie. Good to see you. I am going to tell your horrific stress story in just a second. So just hold on there, Jeannie. Just on the category of, did you know, did I talk to you about this, that ants don't like chalk? Yes, I have a see-through mask, Kimmy. Thank you for mentioning that. And, that means that people can see me talk, but it's most people who've got the see-through masks also wear a mask underneath it, so I still can't see them, so it's very difficult. So did I talk to you about ants and chalk before? I guess Jody would know. I'm going to update you on Jeannie in just a second, so just hold on there, Kimmy. So I didn't know that, but ants do not like to cross chalk. I don't know why, but so if you've got an ant problem, just literally take some chalk, I'll get that right in a second, and draw a line across the front of your doorstep. Right, or even a sort of around it like this, or even a circle if you're that way inclined. Ants will not cross chalk. How about that one? And going back to the decluttering point of view, did you know that 94% of US 9.4%, that's close to 10% of all US households rent a storage unit. Do any of you rent a storage unit? It has always blown my mind why people will pay to rent a storage unit when it would make more sense to me that you buy a slightly bigger apartment, or you rent a slightly bigger apartment and use one room as the storage unit. The reason I say that is because actually I don't think you can get a storage unit for $100 these days. I think it's more like 200. What is the going price of a storage unit where you live? Do you know, like a 10 by 10? And what I'd like you to do is to understand that you'd probably be better off getting a slightly bigger place to live in and use one room as your storage unit. That, interesting. And I've always said that to people. It doesn't make sense to me why people, say, oh, well, I get a storage unit so I don't have to, because I haven't got room for everything in my where I live. Well, it's the most expensive way I know. Yes, Kimmy's saying, why store it? Get rid of stuff. You know something, Kimmy? We're all trying to learn how to do that, right? That's exactly what we're all trying to learn how to do. So, but all I'm saying is if you haven't learned the art yet, really, why pay for a storage unit? Oh, Jody's saying it's only about $70 monthly for a small unit, and then the price skyrockets. All right, now Jeannie's saying a large pod goes for over $300 a month. Yes, but a pod is what I call a mover's storage unit. It's not something that most people, I'm talking about a storage unit that you have, that you can go down and open up the garage doors and go and look in it, and that sort of one, Jeannie. I understand that you have a pod because you're moving. To me, a pod is a slightly different thing, but it's good to know that's how much they cost, $300 a month. So that's good. Now, did you also know Kimmy's saying, I have to store what I'm doing in one room. Yes. And that to me is the smarter way to go. All right. I want to talk to you a little about, did you know that Nordic Walking, do you know what that is? Nordic Walking. That is where you're walking with poles. It's like, the Nordic Trek thing. But when you're walking as a normal person, not on a Nordic machine, if you're walking with poles, did you know that not only will it burn more calories, not only will it raise your heart rate, but also you will walk faster than ordinary walking? Actually, I just ordered up some poles, Kimmy, for that reason. And by the way, this was the conclusion. Let me just give you the reference point here, the source, because I know sometimes you probably wondered. Just let me get the source here. This is the conclusion of a research project run last autumn by Liz Carvin, a former research scientist at BAE Systems, with the help of participants from a club. This backs up all previous research conducted on Nordic walking versus normal, which took place under laboratory conditions. Right. And so Kimmy's making a good point. She said, I need them to be more stable. That's why I'm getting them. I seriously believe I will walk better if I have them. And by the way, are they an arm and leg and 3 bodies? No, they. I think I got mine for about $30. I'll let you know more about them when I get them. Beth is saying, we have a garage with my apartment and we have a lawnmower and other things. It's extra past my rent, but only $90. It's mainly to get my husband's stuff, get rid of my husband's stuff that he still uses. Yes. And so that, if you've rented a garage in where you live, that's clever. That's, that's like having an extra room in your apartment. So that is an interesting fact. I didn't know that, and I thought I would share that with you. This weekend, and we are talking a little bit more about integrity. And the reason for that is because, as some of you will have heard this weekend, those of you who were at the other broadcast, I have already got my finisher T-shirt, my beautiful medal. Isn't that a beautiful medal? And my gloves for entering into the marathon. Now, the reason that this brings up the topic of integrity is something I'm about to discuss with you. Oh, hold on a second. Let me see here. Beth is saying, off the subject, but my husband surprised me and planted flowers in 3 big planters at my job. That's what you wanted, right? Customers seem to love them. Just got to find the time to water them. Yeah, you know what I would do, Beth, because you're a person of routine. I would get yourself a gallon milk jug or 2 and make sure that every day when you go to work, you fill them up and take them with you. So as you walk in, you can go glug, 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 glug. And then, if necessary, fill them up during the day at work. And then on your way out, know that you also need to give them a bit of a top up, if that's what they need. I don't know how big the tubs are, but I really recommend that you do that as a part of your daily routine. Then they always have water. Oh, thank you. She's going to send pics. That's wonderful. All right, Miguel never mind. Miguel said, speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And how many of you going, not a bad way to live? So I want to just talk about stress. Jeannie advised me this week, and I'm going to read what she said with, just give me the okay to tell people what's happened here. I presume that it's okay because you did it on the YouTube channel, and therefore that the world can see those comments. But let me just double check it with you. Okay, thank you. All right, so here's what Jeannie said in her comments. We are very upset, Sal. Our builder had run out of money even when we had given him 30,000 of our own funds. He said if he doesn't receive a check by Wednesday, he will have to go on to other projects. Now, you're asking why does the builder not have the money? And that is because the insurance company has not coughed up the extra money. And so being Jeannie, she has decided that getting upset about it and getting angry about it isn't going to fix this problem. Good for you, Jeannie. I'm so proud of you when I read it. And she said what she's going to do is she's going to go and sit in the insurance company's office until she gets a check. Now that is clever. And Jeannie, it works. I just want to tell you that it does work. It's amazing how it works. Because I've seen it in action. I can always remember my brother, Big Brother Jeff, for those of you who know Big Brother Jeff. When he ran a company once, he had a big company that was not paying their bills properly. And he did that. He went and sat in their offices in the reception, and they said, oh, can we help you? And he said, none too quietly, yes, I've come so that you can pay your bills. And I want to make it easy for you and save you a postage stamp. I'm going to sit here until you give me the check that was due 6 weeks ago. Oh, we'll get somebody on that. Don't worry. No, you're not hearing me. I'm going to sit here and talk about it until somebody brings me a check. And the most incredible thing was that somebody came out and said, no, don't worry. We've got it under control. We'll get the check to you later today. And Jeff said, no, you're not hearing me. I'm sitting here until I have a check in my hand and walk out with it. Now, he did have an added thing, which was that he rented that his business at the time was renting out front-end loaders and things, Jeannie. As after he waited an hour, he said, okay, he phoned his office none too quietly and said, stop every unit that's on their sites. Any unit that's sitting on one of their sites, please tell them to shut the motor down until I tell them to start up again. I must have really got a check very quickly then. Jeannie's saying she's bringing York's son with her, York being her husband, who will take a picture if needed. Yes, I would. I understand that your backup plan is to go to the press if necessary, but the press won't have that story in time. I would, seek first to understand, do you know why they haven't written the check? That would be my first question. Because if they've got a good reason for not writing the check, in other words, they have already given out all the funds they're entitled to, then be careful. that you don't cause a major scene and call the press in if they've got a leg to stand on, if you know what I mean. So you anticipate being arrested. Why, Jeannie? All right, they keep saying that the check is coming. That's good. You don't have to get arrested for this to work. You don't have to do something that will cause you to be arrested. Why would you do that to yourself? This is called be there because you won't leave. Good. That's your right. And by the way, is that insurance company part of the Better Business Bureau? I'd find that out. Yes, and Kimmy's saying the same thing. Go to the Better Business Bureau and make a complaint too. Snap. I agree with you, Kimmy. That's exactly what I would do as well, if they are part of the Better Business Bureau. And, definitely this doesn't sound like a builder problem. It sounds like an insurance problem. Good. I would phone my first call on, well, mind you, it's a public holiday here this weekend. So Monday is a holiday. What about where you are, Jeannie? Is it a holiday at all? And if so, I would ask your builder to give you at least one extra day because of the public holiday, because, you're going to do what you can. But if it's a public holiday, offices won't be open. So think about that. And so going on Tuesday. All right. So this is called you don't have any choice. If they say to you, well, we'll get it to you, you go, I'm sorry, I don't have any choice. If my builder does not have that check by tomorrow morning, he is moving on. I need that check with me today, so I'm staying until we get it. And by the way, don't worry about, if somebody comes in, just make sure that, and there are people, Jeannie, that will actually stand outside with a placard going, I've been waiting for my check for over 6 weeks. So everybody passing by can see that that's what the insurance company did to you. And I believe that's within the law, but don't quote me. I would probably check with a lawyer beforehand. But, that's another very fast way to get a check. But I would do it. I would, first of all, ask them why now, if they say we've already mailed it, what are you going to do? Let's make sure you've covered all your bases. If they say, oh, funny you're here, but we mailed it on Friday, what are you going to do then? And the reason I ask that is because, with all honesty, they could have done that. I'm not saying that they did, but what I'm saying is, what if they tell you that? What is your backup plan? Right, while Jeannie's answering that, quick tip for you guys. I use this great lip gloss stuff. I found that I had just about used up one. It was getting quite dry. When you pulled it out, it was getting quite dry. Here's what I did, and I'd like you to think about this. I actually just bought some food grade glycerin, and I dropped it in with a pipette. Do you know what a pipette is? It's like a little squeezy thing. And I just dropped in some drops of glycerin, and guess what? There was enough pigment left in the bottle that I have got a new full lip gloss from that. Isn't that amazing? And think about that. And the same thing, if your lip gloss is also beginning to dry up, think about that. Amazing, the price of having just a little bit of food grade glycerin. Nobody was more surprised than I was. All right, so Jeannie said, if they say they've already sent out the check, then she will call her adjuster. All right. Jody's saying, doesn't matter. Quite honestly, Jody's saying, I demand proof that it's been sent out. I would say, I don't care whether you sent it out. I have to have a check to give to my builder tomorrow morning. So cancel the one you've sent. Give me a check now. Kimmy's saying, Jeannie, I'd make a video about it and put it on YouTube. That's not going to help her builder, with all due respect. That's something, if that to me, that's a karma thing. What I'm saying is, what she needs is a check. All right. So I want to make sure you've got all the possibilities. If they say, oh gosh, we just sent it on Friday, you said, that's no problem, cancel it. I need a check in my hand right now. I need a check in my hand. Oh, we can't do that. It takes 2 weeks to process a check. You go, excuse me? Either I get a check in my hand today, or the Better Business Bureau is going to know how long you've made me wait for this. And the newspaper is going to know how long you've made me wait for this. And then I'm going to lose my builder because of the time it's taken. I would much rather just walk out with a check. Please make your choice. And remember, Jeannie, that famous discussion we have, no is a perfect answer. Well, don't worry, we have sent a check, it's in the mail. No. No. You're not hearing me. I need a check in my hand. But we've already sent one. No, you're not hearing me. Cancel that check. Give me a check in my hand that I may hand to my builder. Am I making myself clear? Yes, and Jeannie's saying, if they don't do it, the insurance had to continue to pay hotels, food, and all those things, exactly. But the point is, it's just more stressful for you, and you've had enough stress, Jeannie. So this is called, have we helped you, is what I'm trying to find out. Do you feel you've got a little bit more plan B type stuff behind you? If I could be there with you, I would. You know that, Jeannie. So I'm going to go on because I'm not getting a response as yet. All right. My heart goes out to you because you don't need this. I know you don't need it. And so we send you lots of hugs and warm feelings that you get this sorted out on Tuesday. Please let me know. Are you saying that it's not a holiday in the States on Monday? Julie's saying, quite frankly, I was ready to go with a gun and demand the check. No, that would definitely get you arrested. And, that's not a way to go about things. Jeannie, do you feel a little bit better? Don't go doing violence or anything that will get you rightfully arrested. That's not what you want. What you want is a check. All right? And by the way, you are entitled to that check. And therefore, you may need to get go up the pecking order a little bit. Speak to the manager. I would also find out, who the manager's manager is, and make sure you got his telephone number. And maybe the CEO of the company overall. and just go, so you can make a call and go, Mr. Blogs, I just want to tell you I am standing in your office here in downtown in Maine. I know where it is, by the way, Jeannie. And I just want to tell you a story that you need to know. I'm standing in the offices because your company was meant to give me a check 6 weeks ago, and I am waiting. And if I don't have that check in my hand today, my builder is going to walk off the site. So could you talk to somebody here? I'm prepared to hand over my phone so you can talk to the right person. Just don't go armed with a gun, please. That's all I ask of you. That's that is considered to be the opposite of the amendment, if you don't mind my saying so. They have the right to then use a gun on you, and I wouldn't want to see that. All right, now here's the next little thing. Talk about stress. How about this one? I don't have my whiteboard with me, but I can draw it on a piece of paper. For those of you who wear smartwatches, anybody here? It's been fascinating. Our Lauren, and I'm going to talk a bit more about her in a second. Our Lauren normally has a sleep pattern that does this. Okay, it sort of looks a bit like this. And if you can see that, can you all see that? Where she starts off, she plummets into deep sleep almost immediately, and comes up a bit and then goes back into deep sleep and then comes up. So this is what has happened to her. I've got a thicker pen, but will it show? Let's try it and see. This is what happened to her sleep pattern this week. 2 days ago, it went like this. Can you see that? It started here, it plummeted down, it stayed down, and then came up when she woke up. And, you know, with my sense of humor, my question was, did she flatline? Because that's what it looked like. But I thought it was probably a glitch in the watch. However, today, she put up another picture of it, and it went, it sort of went like this. In other words, it had some movement, and then it, actually, I lie, it came up quite a bit, and then it flatlined again, and went like that. It's easier to see, I think. So if any of you ever have that happen, the good news is she's still breathing. And the interesting thing is I've never seen it before. And I wonder if any of you who have fitness trackers that track your sleep have seen it before. My question would be, I've suggested that she talk to her doctor about it, because my question would be, the only thing I could think that would cause that would be her blood pressure dropping so far down that the watch isn't able to, or it's so weak that the watch isn't able to pick it up. So that's why I'm thinking she probably needs to talk to her doctor. All right, so Kimmy says, she's also got an issue that she's got with the cell phone company. And she said, I've been at it with the phone company to get a refund. They keep telling me it's in the mail for 2 months. But if I don't get a refund by April the 1st, we're already in May. So do you mean June the 1st? Anyway, so if they don't get a refund, they're going to get reported to the Better Business Bureau. All right, so those of you who've got smartwatches also agree that you've never seen it before. I am, as I said, the only logical answer I can come up with, because I don't think it's a glitch now in the watch, because she had some movement on it. Therefore, did her blood pressure drop that far down? I don't know, but I do just suggest that she talk to her doctor about it. Now, update, talk about stress. Update from Jody. For those of you who don't know, Jody is in the final preparation of going in for what they call a gastric bypass. And what that is, for those of you who don't know, that pen worked quite well. What color was it? Blue. There we go. All right, so basically, if this is your stomach here, what they do is, what has happened is you've eaten so much your stomach has stretched. And so what they do is they actually bypass your stomach, create a new stomach, and then you've then got this new stomach, which is way smaller. So she is getting ready to have that operation, and the reason being not out of cosmetic. This is a health reason for her. She's already lost over 100 pounds for medical reasons and now needs to lose more. And so now they are helping her do that by allowing her to have this gastric bypass. So the incredible thing is what she's eating now. And she was telling me, where have I got that? All right, here we go. This is what she advised me today. I'm sailing along with my half cup of brekkie, half a cup for lunch, and 1 cup at dinner. This will be in place until I get word to begin the 2 weeks of liquids only. 3 protein shakes, easy for me to say, 3 protein shakes a day with broth and a sugar-free popsicle for a snack. And that's the pre-op diet. She has to be able to do that for 2 solid weeks. Isn't that amazing? However, tonight she said she's having some salmon and some roast broccoli and cauliflower. That is amazing. All right, this is interesting. Kimmy's saying she will not use her CPAP machine anymore because of the air going into her stomach. How does a CPAP machine cause air to go into your stomach? That's new to me as well. So let me know more about that. My CPAP machine makes air go into my lungs. How do you know it's going into your stomach? Interesting. I'll wait for an answer on that one. Anybody else heard of that one? I've never heard of that. All right, but how do you know it does? Or have you just heard about it? Somebody had it happen and you think it's happening to you? Under the, and I'll get back to Kimmy once she's given me an answer on that one. Under the title of Be Prepared and Not Scared, do you remember I said that I thought there would be some shortages in chickens pretty soon? I found out that we have got apparently a shortage of beef in my area. I ordered 2 different lots of beef this week and neither was available by the time my order came about. All right, so let me go back now to Kimmy, who's given me a reply. She said, you get really bad stomach aches and problems. And Jody says, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it's incredibly dangerous to stop using a CPAP machine without advisement from a medical professional. And I would, I would make sure, Kimmy, that you do not do that without your doctor, your respirologist, whatever, agreeing that that's what you should do. So it is possible, and really, I don't understand myself, but I'm not a medical person or a CPAC technician. I do not understand how they could fix that if it is happening. I don't know how they could fix that, because that is not about their machine. That is about something happening where you are diverting that air through something that's wrong in your esophagus, I would think. But that's just my logic, right? A CPAC machine just pushes the air in. It cannot control where that goes. Okay, so Kimmy's saying, I did talk to the doctor and he let me stop until the CPAC company talks about it. Okay, there we go. Best of luck, but be very careful. Amazing the things we get to talk about, isn't it? How about this one? The support of truth takes integrity. Jody is, our admin and also our chief researcher. And she just said, Kimmy, it's called air swallowing, and it can be addressed by changing the settings or switching to a BiPAP, possibly. I'll send you a link. Well done, Jody. Thank you. She might already know that, but if she doesn't, that's very useful. So it's called aerophobia, aerophogia. Kimmy is saying, occurs when the air from the CPAC enters the esophagus and goes into the belly rather than the airway into the lungs. Yes, but as I said, I don't know, because the CPAC machine only delivers it to your nose. I don't think the CPAC machine can be responsible for what happens to it once it gets to your nose, because that has to do with a physiological thing inside you. It's got nothing to do, their job is to deliver air to your nose. So I don't think they're going to turn around and do anything. My personal feeling. Dr. Laura Schlesinger said, people with integrity do what they say they're going to do. Others have excuses. How many of you are going, I know those people? I love this quote. People with integrity do what they say they are going to do, and others have excuses. Boy, is that true. One of the things that I always am aware of, since I got much more in touch with my integrity, is how many people, you'll say, can you do X, Y, and Z? I'll try. And I'll just look at them and say, I try means no. No, I need that excuse, because then I can turn around and tell you that I tried, but I didn't do it. I just need to know, are you going to do it or not? And it's amazing how people look at me and go, what? And I say, I want to know, are you going to do it or not? Well, I told you I'm going to try. No, I'm not interested in somebody who's going to try. I want to have somebody that's going to do it, that there will be no excuses, that you will do it. Now, obviously, if the world comes to a crashing halt, if they end up in hospital or something, that's a whole different story. But the number of times that people just say, I'll try, and I go, no, then I'll give the job to somebody else. I don't want somebody who's going to try. Right, and Kimmy's saying they haven't talked about possibly another machine. There you go, Kimmy. So, have a look at that information that Jody's sending you and see if maybe another machine might help you. And I'm very, very pleased to hear that. Jeannie's saying, I believe I'm calling out the insurance firm for its lack of integrity. Yeah. And Zig Ziglar said the foundation stones for a balanced success are honesty, character, integrity, faith, love, and loyalty. And I would say that we all believe companies to be trustworthy until they prove themselves to be otherwise. And did they tell you they were going to give you a check? And if the answer is yes, I haven't got one yet, that's an integrity problem that I need to address with somebody. And it's not the receptionist, all right? Jeannie, don't talk to the receptionist. Start there. All right, start with the receptionist, but then say, this is not your stuff, honey. There's no reason for me to be fighting with you. This needs to go. I want to talk to whoever it is that writes checks for this company. That's the person that I need to speak to, whoever that is. And I want to speak to them in person right now. And Jeannie is saying that her doctor wants to get a conversation going with the three people, right? Herself, the doctor, and the CPAC people. That sounds like a very good idea. All right, now, Jeannie, remember, you don't need to get mad. Remember your famous quote, right? Firm, fair, and friendly. And if they say, but we told you, we're sending a check. Yes, but when did you tell me that? As far as I remember, that was 6 weeks ago. I think any court of law will tell you that is way above and beyond the time I should have to wait for a check. So I am standing here now until I get it today so I can give it to my builder tomorrow. And then they go, but no, no, you're not hearing me. I am staying here today until I get the check. And I really don't want to have this conversation with you. I need to talk to your financial guy that writes the checks, that approves checks. Yes, and Jeannie said that we have waited and waited, giving them every chance. Yep. And, I did have a call, just so you know, I had an email this week, Jeannie, from my insurance company asking me, basically if I was happy with the amount of the claim. And I said, whoa. There were a lot of discussions that I need to have first. So no, I'm nowhere near that, just so you know. I like this as well. The wind might cause a kite to rise, but what keeps it up there is the fact that somebody on the ground has a steady hand. You have to hold steady to your values, your integrity, and it's your anchor. You let go of that, well, it isn't long before your kite comes crashing down. So absolutely, you have been firm, fair, and friendly. Don't stop now. Don't let them make you angry. Just stand there and be firm, fair, and friendly. So Jeannie's saying firm, fair, and friendly, but I have so little control of the situation now, we may lose our good builder. Yes, I understand that. I understand that, which is why you're standing there. And by the way, there's part of me that goes, I think your insurance adjuster should be there with you. All right, this is like, but I don't know enough about your son. Can he keep his temper under control? Because if he can't, he's probably the wrong person to have with you. I don't think you need somebody who's going to lose their temper. I think you need somebody who can just stick to the facts. All right, so Jeannie's saying there's a woman who writes the checks. Yes, but what I'm saying is she the person who authorizes the writing of a check? Right? That's the person you need to be speaking to. The person who can turn to Deborah and say, Deborah, write that check right now. Unless Deborah is that person, and I don't mean to malign Deborah in any way. If Deborah is that person, then that is fine. That's the person you need to speak to. Philip Johnson said, admitting one's own faults is the first step to changing them, and it's a demonstration of true bravery and integrity. Admitting one's own faults is the first step to changing them, and is a demonstration of true bravery and integrity. I got a lot of faults. What about you? I wanted to tell you that how many of you get those orange bags in the summer, you know, where you get a bag of oranges in that orange sort of mesh stuff? Do any of you get those oranges in that way? And if so, I thought I would give you some handy hints of what you can do with them. Or, you know, because, you know, I'm big into not having a single use for anything. And I did a bit of research, and I thought this was really clever. Said that cut them down to about an 8-inch strip. Make a knot in the middle and throw them into your clothes dryer along with your load. It helps remove the lint off your clothes. And just keep using them over and over until they go limp. Isn't that clever? And by the way, apparently they're really good for scrubbing potatoes and carrots. Anybody done it? So, you know, the same as we were saying on Friday, you know, those bags that your fruit comes in from the grocery store, you know, those sort of thin plastic type bags, don't throw them away. I use mine instead of plastic wrap all the time. You know, I will literally put a whole plate into one of those bags and just tie it up. Or, you know, I've got bread dough rising at the moment, and guess what? It's in its cloche, you know, that container that I have that I cook it in, but it's in one of those bags and tied up. You know, they make great film. Use it as plastic film. You know, it won't self-stick or anything, but you can use it and then just put a plate over the top of it or something. So think about that. Try not to use these things once is the whole trick. Catherine Pulsifer said, for those who find themselves more concerned with how much money they can accumulate for the sake of wealth alone, who find themselves stuck like glue to materialistic possessions that mean more in their lives than their personal integrity or their contribution to their fellow human being. These traps have jaws of steel. To be stuck like glue to the materialistic possessions that mean more to their personal integrity or their contribution to their fellow human beings. Wow, isn't that true? And Mary Kay said, integrity is the ingredient that will enable you to forge rapidly ahead on the highway that leads to success. It advertises you as being an individual who will always come through. Whatever you say you will do, do it, even if you have to move heaven and earth. So how many of you know that I made a commitment to do a 5K run, or walk, rather. Don't let me lie here. I'm just trying to find out. And so here I am, I've already got the shirt that says I finished it. All right. And I already have the medal that I have the right to once I finished it. And I already have the gloves that I supposedly can wear to run it. But you and I both know that I've already got them. And talk about stress. Listen to this story. I went out to do my 5K on Thursday. And I walked and walked and walked until my app, my fitness app, my Fitbit app on my phone told me I had walked 3.2 something miles. I need to walk 3.1. That's 5 kilometers. So I walked until it said 3.28 and went, I've done it. And I did it in the time. And I was so excited. And I came in and I was just having some water when the Fitbit translated it into the final result. And the final result said, hang on, let me get it for you. I just want to make sure I tell the truth on this one. The final results said 3.08 miles, not 3.28. Now, my attitude is, it told me I had done it on the other side of the app, but when it recorded it, it knocked off 0.2 miles. No idea why. But the thing is, as I said on Friday, and I want to make sure everybody understands it, I will not wear this shirt or wear that medal or, until this says that I've done it, because if I needed to prove it in a court of law, which I don't have to, this is where they would look. Can I prove that I did the distance? And this says I missed it by just the tiniest bit, even though I didn't. This says that I did. So guess what? Imagine how I felt. Can you imagine how I felt when that happened? How would you feel? And the reason I'm asking you this is because how long are you going to stay like that? Right. And Jeannie's saying, this is Sal's integrity, right? That I will not do it until I can prove it. So the point that I want to say is, I think, Jeannie, you've got a good point here where, I know that you keep notes on things. So at what time, at what date did they tell you, yes, we're sending you the check? Yeah, and Judy's saying, I would have had a few strong emotions for sure. Can any of you imagine that there was part of me that goes, nobody will ever know? But I'm going, no, Saul, you know that you did it, but even so, you also know you can't prove it, because when you go to prove it, it's 0.2 off. So I've got to do it again. All right, that's what I thought, Jeannie. Jeannie's saying that she does have it in her notes the day they told her. So that's what I would go with. I'd go with that wherever on your notebook, whatever you keep it, and say, I just want to quote you. I received a call from you or an email or whatever it was, printed out if it was an email, on this date that you were going to let me have this check. It is now 6 weeks later. I do not have the check. Oh, well, it must have got lost in the mail. I don't care where it is. I'm not leaving here today until I have a check that I can give my builder tomorrow. Oh, but we can't do that until you return the check we've already mailed you. No, you're not hearing me. I'm not leaving here today until I have a check to give to my builder tomorrow. You can cancel the other one. That's fine. And obviously, if that check were to arrive in the mail tomorrow, I'm not going to be cashing it. That is my integrity. So I think all of this, Jeannie, has to do with you standing there fair and square and not taking any BS. And, and saying, hey, I understand it's embarrassing for you, but this is not about embarrassing for me. This is about, I'm about to lose my builder tomorrow unless I give him a check. So please, could I have my check now? And then they go, blah, blah. No, as I said, I'm going to lose my builder tomorrow unless I hand him a check. Please, could I have that check now? I have been very patient for the last weeks, whatever that is, Jeannie. I need a check today. Now, and I'm staying until I get one. I think I'm just so proud of you, Jeannie, because you've got so much else going on. So can you understand that in life, we are constantly being pushed in terms of our integrity? And the company, I am pretty sure something is not right. Kimmy's saying that in her case, with the CPAC thing, I have called every day and they give me the runaround. That's why in June, I'm going to the Better Business Bureau. I'm tired of wasting my time and energy. Why wait until June? When did you start making those calls? And I don't know what the runaround I don't know what giving me the runaround means in your terms. Is it that they're not getting back to you? I think is what you're saying. So my attitude is, I would say to them, you have got 24 hours to get back to me, or else I'm taking this directly to the Better Business Bureau by Wednesday, or Thursday. I wouldn't wait till the end of the month. I'd push them harder. Either somebody replies to me or the Better Business Bureau, but make sure you know when you started to call them. But the other thing is, have they been trying to give you an answer that you might not have liked? I don't know that. So I don't know both sides of that story either. And Jeannie's saying, is that on Wednesday that you see the doctor's assistant about the kidney stone removal? Yeah, it's a stressful time for you. So this is called, I need to check today. Don't tell them why. Just tell them I need it to, well, you do know why. But I have to give it to my builder by tomorrow. It's quite simple. I've been patient, but it hasn't arrived. Now I need it. Yep. All right, Jeannie, take a deep breath. I think you're going to do this. I have every faith in you that you will do this. And I don't think you have to get nasty. I don't think you have to do anything other than stand there and let them know that you need it today. Because it's true. Right? It's not a maybe. So I'm very proud. So Now, that's so kind. Kim is saying prayers that everything works out well for you and your family and you get well, Jeannie. Right. Jeannie said, I have felt nasty and snippy, and I don't like that feeling. Good girl. That's not who you are. You are not a nasty, snippy person, Jeannie. Don't let anybody make you that, right? Don't turn into that person. Just go, I just want to tell you, I'm staying here until I get and I'm going to keep talking about it. I had it happen once, Jeannie, in a physiotherapy office, where I arrived from I was a business person and I took time off work to go to get this physio done, and they kept me waiting for over an hour. And I want to tell you, after I waited a full hour, I said, who do I send my invoice to? I said this in reception. Who do I send my invoice to? And they said, what? And I said, I had an appointment for an hour ago, and I'm still waiting. So you've just wasted an hour of my time. Oh, I'm so sorry, but they've been busy. I actually don't care. You have just wasted an hour of my time, and I want to know who I send my invoice to. And by the way, I charge a whole lot more than you do. I'm a professional speaker, so I tell you something, my price is going to shock you. And they went, oh no. And I turned around, and I wasn't quiet, Jeannie. I wasn't quiet. I turned around to everybody else sitting in reception and said, anybody else been waiting for their appointment, or is it just me? And people were going, no, I've been waiting half an hour. I said, how long are you going to wait before you start complaining? Because I've given up asking nicely. I'm now making sure that you all know that this is insane. Either they, rebook an appointment, or they get their system. It's not a good enough excuse to say we're really busy. It means you overbooked. It's not about. It's not my fault that you're late. It's your fault. I will not take that on. Am I making any sense to anybody? I don't mind waiting 15 minutes. That's what I call, suddenly something went wrong. But an hour? No, people, no. That's not a maybe. That's bad management, in my view. And by the way, you'll be amazed that the next time I had to, by the way, they did see me pretty quickly. And the next time I went to get an appointment, the funniest thing happened. The moment I walked in and said, hi, it's me, Sal, and I'm here for my appointment, they said, oh, come with me. I said, what? They said, come with me. And they immediately put me into a room on my own and had me lie down and relax. And they thought that was going to keep me quiet. But you know me better. Because I waited 15 minutes, and then I got off the very comfortable place where I was, and I said, okay, I've been waiting 15 minutes. Is anybody going to come and see me, or am I going to have this whole thing? You just kept me out of reception, but I'm back in reception to ask the question, and I will be coming back regularly. I'm going to go and lie down again now. Do you understand? It's just like, really, it's insane. So I admire anybody who stands up for what's right and can do it in a firm, fair, and friendly way that does not need to lose their temper or anything else. Jeannie, you're in the right. That's the most important thing. You are in the right. You don't need to get nasty. You know that any company with any integrity is going to be embarrassed. And therefore, you remember what I always say, when you push somebody, they're naturally going to push back. So what you do is you stand firm, or just kill them with niceness, because if you don't fight them back, they fall over. And you just go, I know you're angry. I know it's probably embarrassing that I'm standing here in reception having this discussion, but I just want my check. And I'm going to keep talking. Every new person that comes into reception is going to know why I'm here, because I will keep talking about it. And I don't think that that is anything other than my right. So understand that integrity is a personal choice. Keeping your temper is a personal choice. Now, I will tell you something else that surprised me this week. You remember I got those rubber Birkenstock shoes to wear inside the house? Boy, they have proven to be my most comfortable walking shoes. I don't know why, but for some reason, I walk better in those than I do my runners. I have no idea. By the way, I've also decided that, I can no longer get away with just doing the 6,000 or 8,000 steps a day. In order to do 5K, I now realize I have got to get my average up to about 10,000 a day to be strong enough to do it and do it within the time. And so can you imagine that instead of spending an hour a day on getting those steps in, I now need to spend an hour and a quarter, maybe almost an hour and a half every day getting those steps in. Now, how many of you are going, oh, I couldn't make the time for that? So here's my question to you. Why would I make the time for that? Why would I take an hour and a quarter out of my day to get those steps in? Why? You see, if you think about it, the whole reason I entered into the 5K was not to give myself stress. I actually thought that I was fit enough to do it. I think I think I overstretched slightly, but I thought I was at the time. It seemed like a good idea at the time. And now it's a case of, I cannot sit and look at this stuff. All right. How can I look at it if I haven't done it? So there's part of me that goes, I made a commitment. Exactly, Jody. Thank you. I made a commitment to enter into it. I didn't make a commit. I didn't know they were going to send me this before I'd done it. And that's what got me upset, was I haven't done it yet. How can you send me this? Jeannie's saying that being who I am, the stress for me is to fulfill the rules. Yes. And now I would have been happy not actually doing it. Now I have to do it, or else I've got to send this back again. But I know I've paid for this. But isn't it funny what integrity does to you? And how many people do we all know that would just go, are you insane? So I'll just wear the thing. And going, no, it's not who I am. Now, let me tell you a really lovely story about One Step at a Time that our Lauren is doing. For those of you who know Lauren, Lauren is our viewer in Tasmania, or one of our viewers in Tasmania. And she is wheelchair bound. She has, Jody, when did she start studying again? A couple of years ago, was it? A year ago, maybe? That she decided to sit down and start really improving her education. And what she did was a course on, I think it was like a social services course. Am I right on that, Jody? But what she found was that she was really interested in psychology and the psychological side of that training. And she has done so well. Yeah, I think it was about a year ago. That's right. Anyway, she's done so well that this week she advised us that she has signed up for a university course. She's going to do a university course on psychology. And she got accepted. I don't know about you, but it was just like, if we had said to her a year ago You know something? You're going to, by the way, she really struggled with this course at the beginning. You remember, Jody? She really struggled to do the work. And in fact, when she first started it, she actually had to ask for an extension because she couldn't, complete the work. And it was very interesting. When she then got it, that the reason she needed the extra time was she wasn't spending enough time actually studying. She thought she was. It's a bit like me saying, I thought I could do it in 8,000 steps a day. No. I want to say that I am so proud of her. And by the way, during this time, she has had 2 deaths in the family. She has had so many things go wrong, and with tears in my eyes. She had so many excuses that she could have used. And instead of quitting, she carried on, has done well enough to be accepted into a university course. I don't know about you, but that makes me want to cry with joy. I cannot tell you how she struggled. And I think the biggest surprise was that she didn't quit. She postponed at first. So here's the thing. For those of you who go, why do I want this? Why do I want the right to be able to display it somewhere and say I did it? Was because in December, I could hardly do 15 minutes of walking, never mind 70. If you remember, round about November, or even earlier, I had major problems with my left side of my body. Do you remember that? I was having major problems lifting my left leg. How many of you remember that? I couldn't lift my left leg at all. I was in so much pain. When I say not at all, I struggled to walk upstairs. How many of you remember that I had ankle problems that required that I wear braces to keep my ankles straight? So, do any of you understand why I am doing all of this? Why is Jody? Jody couldn't walk, but what she decided, because we found out that doing arm rolls, brought up the heart rate, she decided to make this walking for her. And she went from doing nothing to now being able to do 1,000 of these if she wants to. And Jeannie's saying, I remember very well how far you have come, but it's one step at a time, Jeannie. I didn't go from doing nothing or, to being able to do 70 minutes, which, by the way, that surprised me. 75 minutes I did. That surprised me. I didn't think I was going to do it, quite honestly. Never mind in my Birkenstocks, which is like, really? And for those, I haven't got mine on, so I can't show you what they are, but they're like rubber flip-flops, they're not running shoes or anything. And so think about this. The reason that I want you to think about it, it doesn't matter whether it's Lauren with her university course, it doesn't matter whether it's Jody in getting her operation, or Sal trying to have the right to hang this around her neck. This is about have a goal and work systematically, step by step towards it. And by the way, as in life, you will be given all the excuses in the world not to do it. Think about that. You will be given all the excuses in the world not to do it. How many of you know that I, for a split second, was pretty angry at Fitbit for dropping that 0.2 on my phone when they recorded that? How come you showed me on the other side of your app that I'd done it, and when you recorded it, you dropped 0.2. I was pretty angry at that for a split second. And then what did I say to myself? Sal, getting angry does not give you back the 0.2. You're going to have to do it again. I know, but I'm going, Sal, do you want to wear this or not? Because if you want to wear this, just even to show the viewers that you have the right to wear it, not just have it, then you need to do it again and better. And so you understand that when Lauren first started taking her course, it was really difficult for her. The same as it was really difficult for Jody. The same as it was really difficult for me to even walk. All right? But, if you want to do it badly enough, Charlotte, I remember when you were in such a state of mind that the idea of you walking a marathon or a 5K or anything like that was laughable. I don't mind telling you that. It was like, to me, it was laughable almost, but you went out there and you did it. And you did it in an environment where the weather is nasty. And so I think it was not easy. I know, Charlotte. I know it wasn't easy. And it wasn't easy for Lauren. And I can assure you, when she goes into uni, she's going to wonder why she ever did this to herself. But she must know at some level that she can do it. At some level, she knows that she thinks she can do it. I did not sign up for this and spend my money to enter because I thought I couldn't do it. And Charlotte has this wonderful saying that she just gave me here. In sickness, I became healthy. You used what energy you had towards something positive. I would think that Jody would totally agree with you on that she, after having battled cancer, gone into remission, then got lymphedema. How many people would have just given up on their life right there? I give up. But no, she fought her way back. And so I look at it and go, people, don't give up on yourself. Please, do not give up on yourself. I don't care. Part of me doesn't care. How many of you know that if I have to wait a year to wear this, I'll be quite okay? Okay. Now, I'm not waiting a year. Charlotte, I have a technical question that I need to ask you. I have a technical question, which is, am I allowed to use walking sticks to do it? Because I think if I had walking sticks, I think I can walk faster with a walk. I don't know, but that's my next question. I mean, if the answer is no, I will understand, and I won't do it with walking sticks, but there's part of me that goes, I think I would just be a lot steadier and be able to increase my speed if I had walking sticks. So, yes, because you're virtual. Okay, thank you. But in the real world, no? Because my integrity says if in the real world I'm not allowed to have them, then I don't mind training with them, but I need to be able to do it without them. Anyway, we'll see. Oh, so I would be able to if I told them I need them. I do believe I do need them to make the distance in time. So, and it's not because I'm being weak. It's because, I don't know. I'm going to go out and do everything I can to do it without them. But if I get really close to the date, I will go out with them and train with them as well. I'll train with them probably a couple of days a week. So think about this, people. These viewers of ours haven't achieved these things by luck. Charlotte, how many 5Ks have you now got these shiny medals for? And have you done the 8K or 10K, or what are you doing these days? You see, Charlotte, I knew I was in trouble this morning when something in my brain asked me, what's the next one? And I went, what? They said, well, once you've done this, what's the next one? You're going to sign up for another one. And I'm going, why would I spend that money? And the answer is because it motivated you to go out and do it. So is it worth the money to get that motivation to go out and do that exercise? I would think that would be an investment in me. It's not because I want a whole lot of shiny medals, but I think that is an investment in me. And obviously part of me thinks I'm going to be doing more, or else why did I order the poles? Oh, so Charlotte's saying I'm on a running race hiatus. All right, so you're taking a break away. How long are you going to take a break for? Or are you maybe taking a permanent break? To me, Charlotte, you have done a wonderful job of motivating me to do this, even though you never intended to. And I thank you, as you know. And so what I wanted everybody to understand is we all deal with stress. Some of it's self-imposed, right? I paid for the right to be this stressed out about trying to do 5K. I paid for that right. Some of us have stress brought on by other people, like Jeannie and Kimmy. You see, Jody's stress of coming from the amount of food she used to eat to now just about going to pure liquid is chosen, right? She wanted to do this. Interesting. So Charlotte's saying is, even when I'm not racing, I'm still doing the exercise. I'm out many more days for at least 30 minutes outside. Yes. You're still active at it. Good. All right. I'm pleased to hear that, because I'm going to need somebody to keep me on track here, literally. So I look at it and go, sometimes we choose our stress. Now, how many of you know I could just say, hey, you know something? I don't need to do this. I can quit right now. Because it's difficult. It's not easy. 5K, I thought it was about 3K distance, not 5K. I didn't realize how far 5K was. Quite honestly, I don't mind telling you that. I thought I was well on the way. Why? Because I could do that distance on the Wii thing quite easily. But boy, when you're out there in the real world, it's different. All right, and Charlotte was saying in 2020, I was active 335 days out of the entire year, even during a pandemic. And that's why I garden, right? That's why I go out and go putter in my garden and do things. It uses steps. It helps me. So here we go. I'm about to go out and take a walk. You'll be surprised to hear. I'm not going to do 5K. I'm just going out to do, as Charlotte said, I'm going to go out for 30 minutes, just to do that. And then next week, I am going to give it a serious try again. I have got 1 week in which to get that score in, that time in. It needs to be in by the 31st. So, I'm going to have at least one more attempt at it. And this time I will go well over the distance to make sure that it records it. And even if I don't make it within the qualifying time, does it matter? Think about that. Will I have given it every possible chance that I could give it? Have I done the work? And it's like taking an exam, people. You can sometimes do the work and not pass. That doesn't mean you have failed. It means you just need to learn a little bit more in order to pass. And therefore, if I don't make qualifying time this time, it's okay. And so from that perspective, think about what things, you remember we said earlier this week, what things do you need to drop out of your life? What things are you spending time on that you don't really need to be spending time on, so that you have enough time to do the things that you need to be spending time on? I assure you, I did not have an hour and a quarter a day for exercise in December. But I had 15 minutes, remember? And how excited I was the first time I did that round the island lap on my Wii program, WII. It was just like I was so excited. I went all the way around the island. And now, quite honestly, to get my steps in, if I don't want to go outside and walk, I need to do that island 6 times. And I could be wrong on that. Might be more. At least 6 times. I've got a feeling it's more than 6. I'll confirm that next week. This is DearMamaSal saying, some of our stress is self-imposed with good reason. Some of our stress comes from other people, not necessarily with good reason. But we all get stressed every day. How we deal with it makes the difference. I love you dearly. Thank you very much to the viewers who shared their stories so that I could include them today. And oh, by the way, if ever you have a really good story, it doesn't even have to be a really good one, but if you have stories that we can tell about feelings or coping with life or coping with stress, there's something about the real life stories that make them far more interesting than anything else, because it's about us overcoming things. This is DearMamaSal saying, I'll see you next week. Wish me luck. By next week, let's hope I'm wearing my medal. Bye-bye for now.